Welcome to a very informal look at Tabletop Simulator, where I'm going to have a look at the Gloomhaven Fantasy Setup Scripted UA version 2. So once you've subscribed to the workshop in Steam, you should be able to start a single player game like I have here. Click on Games, go into your workshop items and click on the load button. First time you do this, it will take probably a good 10 minutes or so to load all the various elements. However, if you've got caching turned on, which I think most games do by default, then you can see you go straight into the game fairly quickly. An incredible level of detail. I'm not going to cover everything, but just fantastic interaction on this scripted build. Anywhere you see a red dot, you've got some kind of interaction. So for example, starting off at the black barrow, once you've completed that, you click on that red button and it will put the sticker on for you. Right click it to take it away. Up at the top here, you've got all your achievements. If you've done the Drake-aided, then click the button and there goes the achievement. Not sure how to take that one away actually. Yep, just right click it again and it vanishes. And you can even record your posterity along the bottom here. Fantastic stuff. Which you don't normally get in these kind of games. They're normally fairly static, just traditional tabletop. So the scripting really makes all the difference here. You can add your play area, which brings in all the counters. Add an elemental infusion. You can get a modifier deck. You can draw cards, and it pops over the cards. It even tells you as a global notification what you're actually turning over there, which is fantastic. Once you've finished, you can shuffle them back in. You can note that you've created light and earth, and then at the end of the turn in the battle interface, it will move those down to waning for you each time. Very, very impressive. The idea behind these initiatives, if we were to, let's create a player very quickly, add a player. We'll use the, what we take? Mind Thief. Take the Mind Thief out. Oops, a daisy, didn't mean to do that. Need to drag the whole thing. We drag it onto the character board like so, and it expands the Mind Thief out, and there you go. There's the card. You can flip that over to read the various blurbs. Hold the Alt button to zoom in as normal, or you can press the Z button to zoom in. There's your Mind Thief character there, which you can turn around. Again, fantastic interaction here where you can kind of say, oh, yep. There's my health going up and down. You can also click up here to change the maximum health if you level up, which is just fantastic. And you even have your hit points and your experience down here, and you can see here that you can remove hit points 6 to 5, 5 to 4, and so on. And you can also add experience, and when you go down here, that's all properly reflected. You can also modify these just by typing, 11 or 0, 0, 1 or whatever to put yourself back, or 0, 5 to change it to a 5. And then the cards themselves, I think this is not showing me the cards, even if I flip them, and that's because I am not the correct colour of player. So let's make myself red, and boom. All my cards appear in my hand. There's actually a really, really slick interface here. There's actually two decks. There's two decks here. So there's like a holding deck where you can look at your cards down here, and then when you're ready to play, oops, a daisy, got them all selected. When you're ready to play them, you can slot them up like so, and then you can move over here, and you've still got the cards available to drag in to the various places. So there's my initiative. So my initiative in this case will be 79 or 51, and I can kind of drag them around until I'm happy with them. And then if we just spawn in, let's just spawn in the first scenario. We're going to use hidden rooms as well, so that you'll only see the new rooms when you click the doors. So if we were very quickly just going to create that map, it brings up the sheet there, and it gives us the starting points, so we can place our character in one of those. You can see we've got an elite character here with 10 hit points. Oh, something else I should have noted. How does it know what level we are? Well, we have to put our name down here and what level we are. And then that determines what level these monsters spawn in at. And you can see that in the game here. The scenario number is listed underneath, but the actual level of that scenario is determined by the interface I just showed you. Once you've got everything, I think you just click on those and they vanish. So there we go. And then we can start a round. And you can see these guys are, what are they? Bandit guards. And you can see the bandit guards kind of stats here, the draw deck and so on. But now that I've got initiative, and they've got initiative, when we hit the start round, it will actually flip the cards over in each case. And up here, the initiative tracker will tell you who's going to go next. And I think... So, you know, if you were to look at that, it's a guard shield 1 and a retaliate 2, so they're not going to move. So it would go straight onto my move, and I might move up and attack one of them. And that attack might do a bit of damage. Oops, there we go. So let's say I did 3 damage to this guy. I think, yeah, you can actually even click on that and say, well, we've done the guards now. Now we're on to the Verming Mind Thief, and then the next person would go and so on. And when you're finished, let's have a look at these cards down here. You can kind of see that's a discard, so we can say that's a lost card, whereas maybe this move was just like muddling them. It's just a discard at the end. And you can see then on my character sheet that they've moved into the correct positions on my character sheet. Very, very cool. It's just so cool. Like if I generated maybe some dark in that, you'll see what happens when I say that that's the end of the round. That this is now waning. Dark's moved to waning, and we're ready for a new set of initiatives. So that is it in a nutshell, and I completed the Sawbones solo character solo adventure using this. So I'll just show you very quickly what that looks like. So the initial setup, click on the load button and it has a wee think to itself as it loads up all my cameras and so on. So there we go, my camera positions are available. So if we flip straight to my cards, my character, to the playboard, there's a zoom in on the board itself, a zoom in on the scenario, and finally a zoom to, this is still loading, but that's the campaign book on the right that's loading up at the moment, and we've got the rule book on the left, and I'll show you them in a moment. So very, very nicely done piece of work this. I'm just so super impressed by it. It's just fantastic, to be honest. The quality on show here, it makes playing the game just absolutely fabulous. I forget as well that you can lock things in place. So once you've placed this, you hit the lock button, and now I can't drag it anymore. And when I'm moving my character over it, he's not going to interact with that in any way. I've left that door open. I think I can flip it without destroying my character. And you can move these characters around much as you would as if you were actually sitting at the table, which is really, really awesome. I think it also tracks these somehow. I forget exactly how that works. The active button would actually place the card into the active area. These, you just either flip them or you can turn them around. Just using the Q and E buttons. I don't think there's much else to show here beyond the fact that I made the draw areas just a little bit bigger, so you can see that the default draw areas are just a little bit too small. I get that they're trying to fit 4 players along the same corner, but because they were so small, the cards were overlapping, and if there's one thing that you really need to be able to do in this game, It's you want to be able to see all your cards in one go. Now this view means that I don't need to hit zoom. I don't even need to hit alt on it because everything is just right there. I can read all of that, and I can read it well enough to know what each thing. For example, that is just a little bit blurry, but I could press the alt button to read the small text there that you and all your allies are immune to all negative conditions this round. But to be honest, I know what the Battlefield Medicine card does because I've played this character quite a lot now. Played him all the way up to level 5. If you do need to reconstruct things yourselves, then you've got all of these map tiles here, door tiles, traps, terrains, corridors, obstacles, treasure chests and terrain. And if you run out, for example, there's only 2 treasure chests in this and then it's empty. But fear not, because if you search the main bag, you just pull out another treasure chest bag. You can put that one back in. We're finished. Whoops, now you drag it onto the search, beg your pardon. And when we close that off, look, we've got another 2 treasure chests. And, they're not the cool treasure chests that we have in real life, which are big sort of 3D models, but they'll do the trick. And to be honest, I didn't even need to pull out another card there because of course Control C and Control V works absolutely fine. And you can create a whole bunch of them if you want. There's the rulebook. The rulebook's actually loaded in now, so if I go to my preset, I can see the campaign on this side. I can flip through the various campaigns, or I can flip through the rulebook. And at any time you can, I think, is it this button up here, pop out, which is really handy because it keeps it on the screen, so you can kind of like go over and have a look at the card that you want to see, but also keep the rulebook open at the same time. And this also gives you flip by 10 pages. So if you wanted to find short rest, for example, you can have a wee hunt through there, or immobilize. Where is short rest? It is round about here, I think. A little bit further back. Yeah. And a great reference. Close that off when you're finished with it. Like I say, I've got my my preset, just camera 6 just takes me straight to it. So between cards, character sheet, playboard, map, scenario and rules, to be honest, this game is just a breeze now. It's absolutely fabulous. It actually speeds things up immensely as well when you realise that you can now just preset any of these scenarios instantly and be up and running, ready to play them. That's all I was going to cover in this little view. I did run through the whole solo scenario with this. Quite a tough scenario. I did exhaust myself on the final round, but I did manage to complete the scenario on my first attempt. But I think that really was situational, and it really did come down to the fact that when you look at my character, I've got winged shoes, I've got the moon earring, which immediately untaps the winged shoes for a second use, and a major stamina potion gave me 2 cards back. Note that it says 3 cards, but we're playing the second edition, the errata, which nerfs both stamina potions. The major stamina potion only gives you 2 cards, and the minor only gives you 1 card back. So playing on those rules, it was a close cut thing, but it actually worked out really reasonably well. So, and hope you enjoyed this very, very quick look at the fantastic scripted UA for Gloomhaven. Highly recommended.